Hello, Zach.
Hey, Alex.
And welcome, everyone, to the Pokemon Power Podcast. It sounds
Did you say
very
Power
bad
Podcat?
right now. What did I say?
I think you said Power Podcat.
Is that a powerful cat that's in a pod or a powerful pod that contains cats?
I think it's a powerful pod that has cats in it. Yeah, like something that would go to the deep sea or something like that.
Like Gato Roboto.
That sounds like a song almost. Is that a song?
It's a indie game that I played on the Switch and I remember enjoying.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a song. It's like Domo Arigato Gato in the Roboto.
I feel like you trying to sing in another language is going to get us in hot water, my friend.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Speaking of the hot water we've gotten ourselves. Let's start our podcast off with our one of our new favorite segments, Apology Time. We are humans on this show. We like to talk about Pokemon, but we ourselves are not Pokemon. We're humans, and humans err. And we would like to take ownership for our errors. We would like to apologize for those errors. Zach, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be the most grievous thing to apologize for yet. Error, mistake, great evil that I've done, which is in trying to record this podcast, something very important to me and to Alex, and honestly to the world. I believe soon. We went a little bit long, and I didn't necessarily communicate with my wife. And so the apology here, a formal apology through the podcast to my wife. I'm sorry that we came back and did a second episode and it was unclear. And this is the first time I'm telling her about it. And so hopefully in the next few weeks, whenever she decides to watch this, she'll realize that I'm sorry about it.
That's good. That's good. I think that any apologies we need to issue to family members or friends or anything like that can come through the podcast. And then we could say, hey, I already apologized. You got to listen to the pod, baby.
That's how we get people.
That's how we promote the show. We hurt people's feelings.
Rude things.
Zach,
ignore people's feelings.
You got to get on Twitter, baby. People are so rude on Twitter. You can be so rude and apologize on the show.
And they'll be like, I can't believe you'd say this. And well, listen to my podcast. I actually mentioned this. We could say offensive things. I mean, now we're going down a really, are we about to get political?
Sure, I'm ready. I know I'm going to say one political thing because I do it every episode.
Yeah.
I have a couple things I need to apologize for. None perhaps as large as that, but I would like to own up to a few of these.
Yeah.
Number one, I closed out one of the more recent episodes by saying that everyone should eat mold because cheese is mold. I since then found out that cheese is not necessarily mold. Some cheeses contain mold, but cheese itself is not mold. And for that, I must apologize.
Really? That's serious? I mean, it's not mold. What is it?
So, like milk product. Now, I would say that some of the best cheeses contain mold, but
the
cheese
real
itself,
stinky stuff.
The real stinky stuff. You get the French cheese.
Real foot cheeses.
Do you think people like me smelling as hard as I can into the microphone?
I think that's what people specifically watch YouTube videos and listen to podcasts for, is to hear people smelling, and I'm grunting while they're smelling.
That's ASMR, baby.
That's a subgenre of the Pokemon Power Podcast.
You know what? If we get enough people who like ASMR listening to this podcast, we'll start whispering our episodes.
I mean, do they want us to yell? Do they want us to whisper? Whatever they want. The people get what they want.
I feel like if people want us to whisper, they've come to the wrong podcast. So
we're too passionate about this. I can't whisper about how powerful Pokemon is.
If we're talking about Cubone, baby, you better believe we're going to start shouting.
I gotta yell. There's no other way to express that. Anyway, what do we got today? What do we got today, boss?
I'm not done apologizing.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have more apologies. I was assuming there's only one. I thought we just kind of did one thing Zach, per episode.
I do a lot of things that are wrong.
Okay.
I want to say this. In a previous episode, I said that Star Trek had nonsense science in it. I've since been informed that all of the science and all of Star Trek is real. I didn't know this. Zach, did you know that Star Trek? It's a documentary.
I honestly, I don't want to have something to apologize for next week. So maybe I should just abstain from my my views about something that I'm not an expert in. I really only know like the J.J. Abrams revival of it, which I think most people say that it doesn't necessarily. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm done talking. You know what? I don't want to talk anymore about it.
Okay, thanks, Zach. One final thing I have to bring up as an apology time. In a previous episode, I said that I would never apologize for saying referencing the character in the movie Psycho. And I said in that episode as Alfred Bates. But we've already clearly defined that his name is Albert Bates. In the moment, I got confused because the director of Psycho is Alfred Hip Hop. So I got a little confused in the moment. I'd like to apologize for it. It's Albert Bates, Alfred Hip Hop.
Yeah, well, I think we can all agree that any name that starts like Al, I mean, it's just Al.
Oh no,
right? Right? So I mean,
no.
I mean,
no.
Okay, should we not go there? We shouldn't go there. Okay,
I do not want people calling me Al.
I mean, you got Al Hip Hop, you got Al. You got Al Georgie, whatever.
No.
I was trying to think of a
Zach,
way to
like
really mangle your last name, but it's kind of difficult.
I don't mind Georgie. I like Georgie. Zach, we like to start this show off not just with apology time, and that was a longer apology time because I would specifically say I've made some errors, but we like to start with a little icebreaker. And we've talked about our experience a little bit with Pokemon, but I'd like to dive a little bit in depth before we get into our. We've talked. This sentence will make no sense outside of the context of Pokemon. Before we get into Pokemon, let's talk about Pokemon.
Yeah. No. That makes perfect sense.
I wanted to talk about our experience with the different games. There are many games within the series. I want to talk about those games if you've played them or not. We've established, Zach, you're the Pokemon amateur. I'm the Pokemon pro, the Poke Freak, as I like to be known as.
Yep.
I wanted to kind of go through them, see if you've played them, just a little yes or no if you have. And then if you got anything to say about them, I'd love to hear it.
I'm sorry. In my show notes, we were just going to only talk about N64 Pokemon Snap.
We will get to that. You want to go there first?
This is my show notes. I think it's like a sticker or something for a washing machine. Yeah. No, I mean, let's go for it because I can't wait to hear about the games that I don't know about. And
we'll start with some I think you do.
Okay.
Zach, Red, Blue, Yellow. Did you play any of those?
Yes.
What'd you think of them? The originals?
I mean, great. I'm not going to be, one of those people that's old and always nostalgic, but I think they're the best. So, I mean, I'll go as far as saying that.
I do think there's a certain magic to the originals that is very hard to replicate, and especially because it's like a little journey, in later Pokemon games, it's like you're saving the world, you're saving the universe, you're saving the multiverse. Yeah. And this one is just like, I'm just going to be Pokemon champ, baby. Yeah. You stop Team Rocket, but like, that's a side quest. Your main thing is like, I just want to catch some Pokemon. And it's a nice little journey as a little kid.
It really leans into the reality that you are a kid catching little tiny, pocket monsters. And,
I love it.
You're just going and doing that. So, I mean, that includes Fire Red. And then technically Leaf Green is the blue. And they changed.
You got it. Yeah, you good.
I mean, that's really the extent of the deep knowledge that I know. But yes, play that. And I would say I was always a blue guy because I like the color blue. And then I found out much later about like yellow. And then I was like, I would have liked that because I liked Pikachu.
I had blue, my brother had red, and then later on my brother got yellow.
Oof, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
All right, gold, silver, emerald.
Silver was the one I played the most of. Then later I got gold, and I never really realized that emerald is related in there. I didn't know that. I thought that was different.
It's like the third version they did there. I had gold, love gold. I think actually, as far as those go, like Pokemon experiences, it's fun to be able to go from region to region. It's always been my dream that they would introduce that later on. They never have brought it back.
No,
they've left a fan very sad as time has gone on, but that's okay. I'll make it. I'll live. But I was a gold fan. You could go from Kanto to Johto. Thank you so much, Satoru Iwata. Rest in peace. We love you. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Zach, what'd you get?
This is where I think I took a little dip off that one. I think I stuck with silver so long because I would get everything from like I would try to get like everything from both regions, like all the starters, and do a couple of those little like turn off your Game Boy at the right time and break it, and like try to save it between because I didn't have friends, so I was just trying to get all the Pokemon by myself. So that next whatever the ones you just said, I already forgot them. I don't think I played those ones.
Zach, I realize I've made a fatal error.
Okay.
I don't want to cut ourselves an apology time for next week. I skipped Ruby Sapphire. Ruby Sapphire are the ones that are connected to Emerald. Crystal is the one that's connected to Gold and Silver. I was getting all these mixed up in my brain. I know. Apologize. Ruby Sapphire, you have no experience with either, buddy.
No, still no experience. But what was the other one that you just said?
There's Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Those are the ones for Game Boy Advance.
What was the real one?
There was Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Those were the ones for DS.
Yeah.
There's also Black and White and Black and White 2. Those were also for DS. Did you get those?
I had Black that I accidentally got.
I think. Tell me if this is true. I have this memory maybe planted in my brain that me and you went to GameStop with perhaps our deepest enemy in the whole wide world, Jordan Taylor.
Gosh.
So we went to GameStop with this man.
Stop the story right now.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to bring him up.
That I blocked it out. That if that memory ever existed, I erased it from my mind so as to not remember our mutual enemy.
Okay, but you did play Black and White, which I think is a big return to form for the series. I think a really fun plot in it. They do all new Pokemon until you beat the game. Like you don't see Pikachu until the game's over. I don't think so. You may see Pikachu, but you at the least can't catch one until you've beaten the main game. Did you play that? Did you beat it? What'd you think?
Yeah, so Black was the one that I came back on. Those other ones at all the other little colors that you said or precious jewels, I never got into them because like I said, Silver was like, hey, here's some new stuff, but then it brought back the old. You kind of just replay the game over again when you went to the other region. And then Black was the one that I was like, oh, this is great. And then I don't want to steal the next one because I also played the next one as the last one that I remember.
X and Y. This is the one that we've talked about before where you get to Digivolve. And you played these as well. These are the ones for 3DS.
And I played that one on my 3DS, and that was also the one that was weirdly easy, and I couldn't tell if it was because I'm older and games I think that's easy now, or if it was legitimately way easier than the old games.
It was the first one where an experience share would share the experience with the entire party, not just with one other Pokemon.
Yeah, which I like, because then you never have to play any other Pokemon. You just play the one that you like.
It made making a Magikarp Gyarados way easier. And the young people, the Generation
Kids
Zers,
kids these days.
The Zoomers, they don't work hard. They don't have jobs.
They get everything just given to them. Even the experience on a Magikarp. Just
they love their unemployment.
And here we go.
We already got political. I know. I'm sorry. I like X and Y a lot too. It is very easy, but it was one of the first ones where Pokemon I felt was very fleshed out in a whole world. Not from a plot standpoint, but just it was everywhere you went. It was there's another new Pokemon. You're like, oh, I mean, at this point, there's Pokemon's closing in around 700 some Pokemon. And it felt like you're turning a corner. There's tons of brand new Pokemon. You go back through the game afterwards. You're like, oh my gosh, there's hundreds of Pokemon I never even saw in this game.
Yeah.
Loved that. Loved it. Sun Moon. You're saying you did not play these. Sun Moon, Ultra Moon, Ultra Sun.
Anything you say after this point, unless it's talking about our last episode, which was Pokken, that was the most recent thing. I guess I tried the one where you just threw endless Pokeballs at things, and then I accidentally bought $20 worth of Pokeballs to try to catch
Pokemon Go.
What did I try to catch? Not a Growlithe. What's the evolution of Growlithe?
Arcanine?
Yep. I tried to catch one in the middle of a field because I was like, there's no way anything's going to be better than this. I should spend $10 on Pokeballs to catch this. And then I stopped playing it. But anyway, so X and Y is the one that I also go back to on my 3DS. Because I'm there's just a lot to do, and it's just pretty to look at.
Zach, you know what? I feel like X and Y is one of those. It's like Scott Pilgrim. It's one of those things where people have gone back on and they're like, I don't like this anymore. It's like, I mean, fine. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but I had a great time playing this when I was younger. I have a great time playing it now. I think it holds up. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
going to roll through some of these then, since you haven't played them. Sun and Moon. I was a Sun guy. Salute the Sun. It has cool island vibes. It gets a little grindy in places, and it's just let me roll along. I just want to kind of get through this as quick as possible, which Sword and Shield does let you do. I was a Sword guy. I was going to go Shield just to be contrarian, but then Sword had a special Pokemon that I was very excited about, which I believe we'll get to at some point down the line. I just said, I got to get my Sword. If Sword has this in it, I'm going Sword. But we did talk Pokemon Snap briefly at the beginning here. You did play Pokemon Snap, my good man?
Oh, for sure. Taking pictures of those Pokemon, riding around in whatever the cart was. Yeah, I mean, it was just the joy of just catching them. What are you going to catch them doing? I mean, you just get some great shots.
I'm very excited for new Pokemon Snap coming to Switch.
For sure.
I'm very hopeful that it's open world. I'm very hopeful that you're not just on a track, that you get to kind of like go to place. You can kind of do a little bit, you don't need complete
Sneaking
control.
around.
Yeah, sneak, baby.
Yeah. Sneaking up there, throwing some rocks at Pokemon you don't like. Yeah, or not. I mean, unless you don't want to throw me, but I would maybe throw some rocks. Like, you're so ugly. Get out of here, Pokemon.
You seem so ready to throw rocks at Pokemon.
If anyone wants to know, I don't own a pet right now, so you don't have anything to worry about.
Good. Thank you for alleviating that.
Just want to make sure
alleviating. Alleviate, I believe, is a product.
Before you get too far out of those games that I haven't played, or those ones, is there one that I should pick up right now? Obviously, I can't get it really on sale because the Pokemon games never go on sale for like 3DS. But what should I get?
Zach, I do think, and I think our listeners would appreciate it as well. I think you should pick up Sword or Shield. I think if you picked one of those up for Switch and you were to update us on, I got here and I'm doing this, I think the listeners would love that. I would love that. Okay. And it's, I mean, there's definitely some issues with it. I think every Pokemon game has some issues, but Sword and Shield, especially after the DLC, I think it's good. I don't mind being on the record saying I enjoy Sword and Shield.
All right, it's officially on the record, and now that I buy it, it's a tax write-off for this this podcast that we have. So, podcast will pay for it. Thank you.
Well, we know that your Pokemon experience outside of that is very limited, so I don't want to tarry any further. I think it's time that we get into our Pokemon for the day, Zach.
Let's go for it. I'm ready.
It's time for our segment, Gotta Elucidate Them All. Zach, this is a segment where you describe a Pokemon. You don't know what Pokemon we're talking about today. Any guess what Pokemon we're talking about today?
All right, I'm going to guess that today, here we go, randomize in my mind which one came up in the randomized generator. It's Haunter.
Zach, I'd be so excited if we were talking about Haunter today. I'm a big Haunter fan, but you know whose favorite Pokemon is Haunter? That terrible man, Jordan Taylor.
And I forgot that I knew that, and I don't know why I said it.
Jordan Taylor, enemy of the podcast.
Just standing next to all of our cool Pokemon that we like and just falling around with some creepy ghost. Now I don't like it anymore. Oh man!
All right, it's okay. Today? Let's not think about Jordan Taylor. Let's not think about Haunter anymore. I'm going to pull the Pokemon up on the screen. It's time for us to chat Pokemon. I'm going to start the timer. You ready, buddy?
I'm going to trust you on the timer. I'm not even going to start one today. Let's do it.
I'm glad we're growing as friends and as co-hosts. Let's go.
All right. So what I'm looking at here is what seems to be a monkey, but with no real body. Definitely has arms. You've got 4 arms. It could have been a prisoner at some point because it has these weird bracelets all over its arms. And then it's got the face of a pig with ears that's furry. Seconds. And but I assume it's some sort of creature that is a mix between a monkey and a pig monkey.
Buddy.
Okay.
I love it. You have 2 seconds left. I love it. I think you crushed it. I'm going to get into this and why I think you crushed it in just a second. Do you know the name of this one?
I do, but I'm going to name it today. My new segment that I'm introducing called Zach Says the Wrong Name, but Could Be Good Name. And the name of this is, it's a pig and a monkey. And so what I'm going with is Punky. You know, and it's also kind of punky, like it's got these like wristbands and it's, I could see that kind of jump around at a rock concert. Maybe plays like guitar or something like that. That's punky.
Well, you may call him Punky, but when we play Who Is That Pokemon?
His real name is Mankey. Okay, fine.
No, buddy.
Wait, no.
Mankey turns into this one.
Oh,
Do you
is
know
that
it?
Primeape then?
It is Primeape, my good man. Primeape.
Sorry.
You know what? We talked about. That's okay,
I'm
buddy.
just such not a pro. I'm just not a Poke freak. Well, what can I say?
It's okay. I think you're turning into one. I think as time goes on, you're going to become more and more of a Poke freak.
Okay.
Poke freak. Like Beyonce. Poke. Okay. I think you crushed your description. You know why? You know what category that a Primeape is?
Pig monkey?
The pig monkey Pokemon.
No,
I'm
you're
not
making
kidding
that up.
you.
You're saying that just to be nice to me.
No, I am not kidding you. It is a pig monkey Pokemon, buddy. You got it right on the pig nose for as far as Primeape is concerned. And Primeape, you kind of were talking about it. It's just kind of a ball with arms that has monkey-like and pig-like features.
Yeah,
and that's about it as far as you can describe them.
You know what? The art direction, they hit the nail on the head. They said, you know what we want to do? Pig monkey. And they said, okay, well, what if I just kind of smush that together, make it into a ball?
Sure.
And then they said, yep, check. That's it.
Well, based off the art direction, and I do think the art direction does a good job, what would you say is Primeape's main emotion?
I'm going to go with wild amounts of anger. This guy's just angry at the world.
You know what, Zach? I think you're making a good argument for how good the art direction is in this one.
Oh, yeah, they make it clear. They
Very clear.
Here's the message I want you to know. Primeape, the dude's a pig. He's a monkey, and he's just not. He's not about it. He's not about your nonsense. And honestly, he might be a little angry with his existence, which
I like to read some of these Pokedex entries and sometimes play a game. I just want to roll through these because they are all about exactly the same. This is Fire Red. It says, it is always outrageously furious. Outrageously furious is such a funny description. It says, if it gives chase, it will tenaciously track the target no matter how far. I like the idea that like you see a Primeape, you make eye contact and you're just like, I gotta get out of here. This thing's gonna chase me. You get on a plane, you live 10 years of your life, you feel safe, and then one day you open your eyes from sleep and there's the Primeape over your pillow just ready to pummel you. It'll chase you no matter how far.
Outrageously
furious.
Angry. They're just furious. And wow, I mean, that really fits. Check. They did a great job on that.
Yellow. It stops being angry only when nobody else is around. To view this moment is very difficult. I think if you were to give the superhero to Primeape, it would be the Hulk, obviously. I mean, its superpower is being angry all the time. Yeah.
Not necessarily strength. The superpower is just being angry.
Well, it's like Kanye West. He says his superpower is being bipolar. So like that, this Primate's superpower is being angry.
Okay.
Gold.
It gives him a great amount of focus, and someday Primeape could be president. That's what I always say.
Are you going to vote for Kanye this year, Zach?
You know what? I mean,
Let's not talk about it.
He's a guy. And I think that his
you
name
got
is
that
Kanye.
Right. He is a guy. Let's move on.
And his name is Kanye, and that's what I think
great.
about it.
He's keeping those promises. If approached while asleep, this is from Gold. If approached while asleep, it may awaken and angrily give chase in a groggy state of semi-sleep. Wow. I like that it will be angry the moment it wakes up. And like just out of some primal like instinct, it's like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm still tired, but I gotta get angry.
You know, I'm trying to think about all these different Pokemon we talked about so far.
Yes.
And it seems like they don't like the fact that either they exist or other things exist.
Yes.
You know, you've got Cubone, who is angry at the existence of the world and is a loner, the loner Pokemon.
He's very sad. Yes.
Now you've got Primeape, who also is a loner because he chases every other living thing away. And I'm just thinking, like, what are they trying to tell us about these Pokemon? Like, I mean, should we be catching them? I mean, are we going too deep maybe in the philosophy of Pokemon at this point? But this dude is so angry. Now we throw him out of the Pokeball, and it's just whatever Pokemon he sees in front of him, he attacks him. I mean, I don't know. Man.
I didn't include it in my list. I believe there are Pokedex entries about how Primeape may be angry even when it's in the Pokeball. Like, it just never stops being angry.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
To kind of close that out, this is from Sun. It says, It has been known to become so angry that it dies as a result.
No.
Its face looks peaceful in death, however.
That's not a real thing that they wrote down.
This is what they included for the description in Sun, is that it becomes so angry that it dies.
Oh my gosh. That's so, I mean, that's honestly terrible. That could be one of the worst things you've read so far that someone wrote.
It sounds
This
like something from
Pokemon-
like a grim fairy tale or something like that. Like
Yeah,
the
something that
villain
should-
dies because they're so angry.
Something wrote in the 1500s to scare children. And they're like, hey, so there's this Pokemon. Look at him. He's like a monkey and a pig. Yeah, he hates everything that's around him. It always makes him angry. And then someday he's just going to die from being angry.
Yes,
so
yes.
maybe learn your lesson, huh, Billy? Learn your lesson, Billy.
don't be around them is ultimately the lesson to learn. Is if you're even by it, it will give chase and chase you until it fights you.
Until it fights you or it dies in anger.
Zach,
Wow.
I don't know really what to move forward with as far as Primeape is concerned, because I was like, there's a Primeape in the anime, and it's just an angry Primeape. Like,
Perfect.
it's just another one of those. So I have a game I want to play today. It's a new game.
Okay.
This game's called the Pokemon Producer.
All right.
Zach, I want you to close your eyes. You are a Pokemon producer. You produce Pokemon stuff. Your boss, presumably Junichi Masuda, comes in and tells you that they want every Pokemon to be a star. And they want you to produce a project meaning it could be a game, it could be a movie, it could be a book, a CD, whatever you want it to be, a project that elevates Primeape to a star. Whatever the heck you want it to be, but it's just a project that it has to be profitable. Junichi Masuda says it needs to be profitable or you're fired.
Okay.
And I'm going to start.
Okay.
I know I'm jumping this on you. You don't know about this, but I have an idea. I came up with this pretty quickly. I call it Primeape.
Well, that's really nice to say it like that way. I'm throwing this on you, Zach, right now.
Shorter than it would take you to come up with it. Shorter than the time I'm giving you to come up with it. I came up with this.
But let me just give you a couple. Let me say my idea so you can have time to think about it, Zach. Because let's be honest.
Take some time.
Think of it. Okay,
Take
fine.
some time and feel
Say
free
your
to ask
thing.
me questions.
You know what? Just for the sake of time, I'm going to ignore whatever you're going to talk about just so I have extra time to think about my idea. Okay.
No.
So listeners, you go ahead and listen or watch his idea. I'm just going to be over here thinking, not listening. Just to make sure I have enough time.
What a podcast that would be if the two hosts just ignored each other the entire time. I have this is a fitness game. I'm calling it Primeape's Punching Bag. It's a fitness game where Primeape is your fitness instructor, and it's very high impact, fast paced workouts. It's like it's almost very CrossFit inspired. Lots of like punching, lots of running in place, kind of like a Ring Fit Adventure, except all like aggression. And I thought it fit very well because I learned that CrossFit is very popular among police officers, apparently, which I thought made sense, since he's the pig monkey Pokemon.
So we're going political again. It's really good.
The only Pokemon that would fit more if there was only a donut Pokemon.
Oh. There's the ice cream Pokemon, right? We'll just go for that one.
That's not a stereotype. Police officers don't like ice cream.
They don't.
They hate it.
That's a joke. So everyone
I saw
likes.
a police officer knock an ice cream cone out of a child's hand and laugh.
I mean, yeah. Well. Anyway, so here's
Zach,
my
give me your
idea.
Primeape project. What's
Here's
your
my
Primeape
idea.
project? I'm Junichi Masuda. I'm judging you. Tell me.
So here's what I'm thinking in the context of we're using the real Primeape. We're trying to revamp his image, right? We want people to like him. We want people to buy stuff with Primeape. And so I'm thinking this is what we have to do. We make money by making deals with companies that need buildings to be demolished. And we say, hey, we're just going to send Primeape in there. But we film it as as like almost a game show where people are kind of watching on the sidelines and audience is there. And there's like kind of different items that are throughout this like building that needs to be demolished. And you can like, make guesses like deal or no deal. Is he gonna bust up this thing first? And then it becomes everyone just loves watching Primeape just bust stuff up, There's going to be some kind of undercurrent there with saying like, are we abusing the Primeape, his anger? You were just, it's kind of like a bull riding kind of thing. Like, are they just making him angry? agree to them perform, but it's fine. We'll kind of push that to the side because we're going to be making a lot of money from these companies paying us to bust their buildings down, demolition. And then we're making lots of money from TV shows, and people are going to be having their Primeape, a little bit of like a wreck it rap. I'm going to wreck it, but like Primeape just says like, whatever he says. I don't know what he says. That's my idea.
There's a show, I want to say like late 90s, early 2000s Fox called, I believe, Bonsai, which sounds very similar to it, where it was a game show, but the stuff that they were gamifying was not a game. For instance, they showed 2 clips and there's like, these 2 men are about to break into these cars. Which one will do it faster? And then they'd be like, they'd have like contestants guess on it, but then they're like, you at home can guess too. And I was like, I remember watching it with my brother. I'd be like, this guy's going to break into this car faster. And I was so pumped when he won, when he like broke the law quicker.
Oh man. That just seems like that's a show that cannot exist in 2020.
I know it can't. I know. But that Primeape show, too good to exist, Yeah. I think those are great ideas. I'm Junichi Masuda. I approve them both. And guess what, Zach? Money.
Thanks.
It's Pokemon. It makes money, man.
We got
it. All right. We are headed into we're having a good time. You feeling a little goofy?
Having a good time. Oh wait, sorry.
Having a good time.
No. Sorry. Copyright strike. Nothing.
It's time for the Pokeball Decision. This is the part of the podcast where we make a decision of what kind of Pokeball we would use to catch a Primeape. We don't take into consideration the rarity. We just take into consideration how badly we want it. And we can throw a Pokeball, a Great Ball, an Ultra Ball, a Master Ball. We can also choose to flee, or Zach, you can throw a rock at it if you'd like. Where would you like to go with this one?
Well, I'm going to say if I threw a rock in this situation, it seems like asking for certain death.
Yes.
So I don't want that. I'm going to go with the Great Ball. Is that crazy?
No,
I think it's a strong Pokemon. I always liked what I didn't know was pig monkey types. I always thought it was kind of like fighting type or something.
Yes.
But I enjoyed playing as him. And now I kind of know his story. I kind of want to see like, hey, could we be friends? Could he get used to maybe just me? It's kind of like those people that, you have your pet's really aggressive and nobody likes it and everyone hates that you have it. But you're like, no, you don't understand. Like we're so close. Kind of like when I live as a hermit somewhere in the hills of Montana, just me and my Primeape was just living life. He loves it there. So Great Ball. What do you got? Where are you going? Throwing a rock?
I'm not going rock.
Okay.
I think I'm morally opposed to rock. I don't want to do rock.
Never. You're never going to throw rock.
When you do rock, I'll sit that
You're
night.
telling me when 2 giant ice cream cones float at you, you're not going rock?
Those. I'm choosing eat. When it comes
Is that going to be one of our options now?
When it comes time for me to choose Vanillish, I'm going to eat it, and then I'm going to request that it's number 1.
I'm going Great Ball as well. Now. It's about to get real weird this season.
I'm in full agreement with you, Zach. I think there's something for the Futuramas of the world, where the characters are not necessarily all that complex, where there may be a little one-sided, but you get what you're expecting, and you get satisfied. You're happy. You get to it's like a warm blanket. And Primeape, he's just a warm blanket of anger.
Yeah. In a world like today, when there's so much uncertainty, you just want something that you know what you're gonna get.
I feel yes. Does anyone listen to this?
Yeah, I was trying to listen to this podcast in my car, and they just started saying yes.
I think it was skipping. Have you ever heard of a podcast skipping before?
Can podcast skip? Is that a thing they do? Just yes. I don't know.
I like it. It's very simple, but I mean, same thing that we were talking with Snorlax on a smaller level. It sometimes you're angry, and it kind of encapsulates that for me. And I think I appreciate the effort that's put into that it'll just chase someone forever, that it's angry until it dies. I mean, like, I don't think anger deserves that much appreciation that it goes Ultra Ball or Master Ball, but I do appreciate the commitment. So I went Great Ball, and I think we're in agreement, Zach, on this one.
Okay, well, then, are we in agreement here? The real question is, next session, I mean, the most important part of this podcast, you guys, and you listeners, you committed listeners know, you're waiting this whole time to hear about it. You're saying, what's going to be that power ranking? What's going to be that Pokemon power ranking?
We're not that.
What? We're not even there yet? Because that's what I've been waiting for.
No, we're there. I'm just saying we're not that far into the power ranking at this point. We only have 4 Pokemon on it, so let's be number 5. Number 1, Snorlax, then Victory Bell, then Cubone, then Jigglypuff. Zach, where do you think Primeape belongs?
Here's what I'm going to say. I mean, this is the most aggressive Pokemon we've had so far.
Yes.
Easily the angriest. We've already walked over that. And committed to destroying his prey or whatever he's mad at. So I'm going to say, I mean, who we put on the top? We put Snorlax on top, right?
Snorlax is on top, then Victory Bell. So my thing is, I think I'll give you my placement. I think he's either number 2 or 3. I think he's either in front or behind Victory Bell. I love Cubone. I don't want Cubone to be so low, but at the same time, I can't make an argument for Primeape not just beating the ever living gosh darn life out of Cubone. Yeah. I mean, Cubone is going to use the boomerang move. He's going to throw that bone. Primeape is going to hit Primeape in the face, and he's not even going to be like, he's just going to keep running Tom Cruise style directly into him and then just start swinging. Fast.
Yeah. Now he is going for that. And then Victory Bell, you've got some sneakiness in there. You know, I could see that, but personally, I was going to put him at 2. That's what I was going to say. Because the only reason he doesn't go 1 for me is that I feel like when he fought Snorlax, it would be one of those situations where he died in anger. You know, because he was punching so just furiously. Just
Snorlax
so angry.
didn't even wake up.
He didn't wake up. Got him down to like 50 HP and then just like probably just dies. And so
Koji Nishino was watching the whole thing happening. He's like, nothing from Primeape.
Nothing.
I think that's fair. I think I'd go 2. That's fine. I would say so. Our power ranking would then go Snorlax, Primeape, Victory Bell, Cubone, and that big bully Jigglypuff right at the bottom. Zach, anything you want to say in closing for today's episode?
I just want to say I don't hold as many ill feelings against Jigglypuff. I think Jigglypuff is just doing its thing, wanting people to hear it. But more specifically about Primeape, this is another moment, you guys, where we just take a moment to step back and say, do you have some anger problems in your life? You know what? You can find a way to positively let that anger out. You know, maybe that's working out. Maybe that's Zumba. I don't know, whatever you're into. I know that Alex is always trying to get me to go join his Zumba class because it's what really just releases that. That's it. I mean, just dancing, just anger dancing, you know, a little bit of a hot rod in the middle of the forest. Just got to dance away. You just got to dance that anger away. So that's our little health tip, our little just caring about you guys, our listeners, our friends, our fellow Pokemon Mania. I don't know. What are we calling you guys? Yeah, put it in the comments below what we're calling you guys.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, you know, just find that thing. You know, don't be the Primeape. Don't die in your anger. That's my word for today.
As the Bible says, do not let the sun set on your anger. Primeape can be a day. It can't be your night. You know.
Ooh. Whoa, quote.
A Primeape in the streets, a Snorlax in the sheets. I went from the Bible to some crass comment within 20 seconds.
I think that there's we're just giving helpful advice. It's not crass. We're saying,
yes.
You know, you let the anger out and then be a Snorlax. You know, just go to sleep. You know,
go to sleep.
That's really good. That's what we're saying. That's what Alex was saying on this kid family friendly podcast.
As always, the Pokemon Power Podcast would like to thank bulbapedia.bulbagarden.net, sarahb.org, and Dr. Lava YT. If you'd like to learn more about Pokemon, those would be great resources for you. If you'd like to ask us a question about next week's Pokemon, I'm going to ice that. If you'd like to ask us an icebreaker, we're trying to figure out how we want to do this as far as asking people about Pokemon for next week. We want to keep it a little bit of a secret. If you want to know what the Pokemon is, if you don't care, YouTube, we're always going to put the name of the Pokemon in the title. But on the podcast, we're not, because we want it to be a surprise so you can find out along with Zach. So don't ask me about next week's Pokemon, but you can ask Icebreakers.
Please stop asking him.
Stop asking us questions unless it's an icebreaker or a game.
Yeah.
We would love to do those, or just keep up with the podcast. You can do that on most social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram at PokePowPod, PokePowPod. If you're watching this on YouTube, we would thank you for watching, and we would ask you to like and subscribe. That helps our channel grow. If you're listening to this on the podcast, please subscribe via your podcast app. And once again, that's just very helpful for our podcast. And we would like to say, as an audience member, we choose you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Do.